It's just after 9 o'clock then on a beautiful summer's evening. The sun's just dipped below the horizon, everything is peaceful and calm. Admittedly, Max and Remy are running around like mad dogs, but some things are never going to change. And today it's been day 5 of the fire pit build. And today you might be surprised to hear it's not actually been that hectic. And that's because today we had one mission and one mission only. It was to concrete the base, the footing on the left-hand side. Yesterday we did the right-hand side, but we needed a bit more ballast. So I was at the builder's merchant bright and early this morning. I came back here, I was back here for just after 8 o'clock, and we got straight on with the concreting. And in fact, everything went so smoothly, we worked that hard, everything was done, wrapped up, cleaned away before 10 o'clock. So I was really pleased to get all that sorted, because then it meant I could water the whole garden this afternoon. And with the hot temperatures coming up on Friday, having a well-watered garden, the growth it could put on, it really is incredible. So today's video might just be a quick one, but I wanted to share a quick update of where we're up to. Tomorrow is going to be the busy day, the productive day hopefully, because that's when we start on the block work. But I'll show you around quickly now so you can see the fire pit as it is, and then I imagine the whole feel of the place will completely change as those blocks start to go up, but it'll start to feel slightly more and more every single day like the vision that I've got in my head. So let's get cracking. With a view like that then, you could be anywhere in the world. But as we head down here, it's very obvious that we're actually in a crater in North Lincolnshire. But hopefully that's going to change dramatically over the next few weeks. Hopefully even over the next few days. And as you can see, we've now got the concrete in, the footing, the foundation on the left-hand side. And exactly the same as the right, we've followed the same way of just smoothing it over. I say we, Paul did it again. Smoothed everything over and got it to the height of those posts that I put in. So in theory, we've now got a footing that's pretty much perfectly level on both left and right sides. And that's important because you want the block work, the courses, to actually marry up on both sides of this entrance. Otherwise it would just look completely wrong. And you might be thinking, day 5, you're not even out the ground yet. I know I'm thinking that a bit, but it's well worth putting the time in at this stage, getting everything just right. And that way, you know the block work's gonna be right, and you're not just throwing time, effort and money over something that's not 100%. I'm really happy again with the progress. A bit of a steady day today, but I needed to get everything watered, especially with the temperatures we got on Friday. We're now looking at around 30 degrees, which is plenty warm enough. And tomorrow, the first thing we'll be doing is getting rid of the shuttering. That's served its purpose now. It stopped the concrete from spilling over. It stopped us needing a lot more and wasting concrete, so that's going to disappear. So whilst today's been a bit steadier and I don't have any action-packed montages to show you, tomorrow it's all about the corners of the block work. And I think it's really crucial, I know Paul definitely thinks this, to get the corners in first, because once you've got those corners in, you can put your lines across from corner to corner, you can put timbers between, and then you know that everything's perfectly square. Because in a fire pit like this, you can probably tell from my trench digging, it's hard to really see perfectly straight lines when everything's different heights. You've got walls that are leaning away at different angles. But once you've put those corners in, once you've got your lines set up, you know then the rest of the block work is going to be perfectly straight. And it's crucial in a square fire pit like this. You want everything right. You want it to look good. And if you're going to clad the walls with anything, which is a decision that I'm still yet to make, then of course everything needs to be 100% right, because otherwise it would just be immediately obvious. And to the person who commented asking about lighting, I don't really have any immediate plans to actually light this area. I know structural bulb plants like the olive tree behind me, with Darzilirian over that side there, those will look great with some uplighting. But I don't really want to go too far with the lighting. I don't want to have a sort of party atmosphere, maybe something subtle down the line. And I'm also aware that we're on the edge of a village here, close to the countryside. There's lots of bats and all kind of wildlife, and I don't want to disrupt them too much with lights on every single night. So maybe something shining on a few of the beauties, like the Darzilirian over there, maybe something for the palms, perhaps some lights hanging down across at some point. But the crucial thing is that I've actually left a void down the back of those slabs there. It's probably not something I've talked about in a previous video, but basically those slabs form quite a crude retaining wall at the back there, and there's a little void of around a foot or so at the top, so I can still run cables and pipes down there for whatever I require. So down the line, who knows, I might have a water feature set up. You can probably hear the slight echo of my voice, the echoing as Remy's eating the shuttering. So maybe a water feature will be even more dramatic or perhaps relaxing in here. I'm cool with it either way. So yes, you are completely right. If you're building something like this and you are building up large retaining walls, if you're building it into a bank, then now is the time to put the wiring in, future-proof your project. If I didn't have that void down the back, that's exactly what I'd be doing. Because now if you put it in before the walls are built up too high, and definitely before you start to put the soil back in, it then saves a lot of time and hassle at the end trying to hide cables and do stuff you just didn't need to do. If you're starting a project like this, then it's definitely important to have a plan, to have a vision, to know the practicalities, which direction the sun shines from, what your soil's like, everything like that. But I also think it's really important to be open to that plan evolving, to new ideas being incorporated. And a few that I've had over the duration of this project. Firstly, this entrance into the fire pit. I dug it out very roughly, but what I thought is, since I could actually make this path even longer, bring it closer towards me here, and that would really make it feel like a proper journey leading into the fire pit. I really like that idea. And secondly, I'm pretty certain that this is going to be the finished width of this entrance. So that means if I'm going to have the cobbles on this right hand side, that I'm going to need to dig more from this left hand side here, because those cobbles are quite thick and need to leave enough room for them. The cobbles themselves, they weren't part of my original plan. Henry commented, but I suppose you can get inspiration from other people, going to see different gardens, different places. And to me, a lot of the Cornwall gardens, they're definitely an inspiration. And I will be doing a video soon talking about some of my favourite gardens in Cornwall, some I know you'll love. So that's my second evolution, the cobbles. And that's the part of the project that I'm really looking forward to. Admittedly, the block work over the next few days, it's more, I suppose, technical, it's more basic. I need to learn how to do it, but it's exciting to see the project develop, but at the same time, you're just putting rectangular blocks down. Whereas the cobbles, they give room for creativity. I can create all kinds of different planting pockets in them, and I'm really looking forward to actually putting them down in a way that looks natural, artistic, that looks like they've been down a lot of years, and having all kinds of succulents rather than nettles spilling over them. And the third thing that I've been thinking about is this floor. Now, originally I was going to put a base, a patio, a floor, whatever you want to call it, of cobbles down. And then Henry commented saying that I suppose they wouldn't be perfectly level, and they definitely wouldn't. So if you're going to have sun lounges, barbecues, anything like that down here, I suppose you do want a kind of level base. So what I've actually been thinking is a few different options. Firstly, sandstone paving. I know it's quite common, but to me that would really tie together the old cobbles as well as York stone that I've used leading further up the garden. So that would definitely be a good option. And then I've also got some quarry tiles. So what I was thinking is, without trying to introduce too many materials and water the whole thing down, I want to have some quarry tiles perhaps around the edge, and that'll tie in nicely with my brick shed and the bricks that the house made out of too. So that's another idea. My main idea that I'm thinking at the minute is some kind of mosaic in the middle. Nothing too sort of naff, but I quite like the idea of maybe a palm leaf or a tree fern, something like that. I think I could maybe cut it out with sandstone, maybe have some detailing with a different colour or something in the middle. That's something I'm mulling over at the minute, but let me know your thoughts. So today's video, it's been more of an update, a quick catch up and to show you the progress. But today's video, it'll be the last one with this fire pit completely open. So hopefully tomorrow night, in my next video, you'll see some real progress, some block work coming up, and the fire pit build will continue. Thanks always for watching. I'll see you in the next video. And there again is your blackbird. See you later.